You are with Wade, and this is Wade World. Wade is going to refer to one of the good guys on the side of order and balance in this video today because if you've been a fan of Star Wars, if you've seen Star Wars, or if you've seen the memes, or you know a little bit about Star Wars, although it was produced by a Jew, they keep reinforcing this hippy dippy BS that, oh my God, hate will lead you to the dark side. Well, there's some truth to that, and there is some untruth. If we look at the most hateful group of girly men on this planet, they have been mega successful in their hatred for everybody else, whether you're white, whether you're brown, whether you're yellow, whether you're black. We're, of course, talking about the Khazar Mafia who call themselves Jews today, right? But there's another sort of hatred. And that sort of hatred is called, if you've ever had something unfair, objectively unfair happen to you in your life, it's called justified anger, justified hatred. And this moves mountains. When the Jewish bankers destroyed the monarchy of France by executing Louis XVI in 1793, Napoleon had the opportunity to become the emperor. And Wade can tell you, there is a hatred against destroying the natural order of the best of your own kind ruling over you with your interests and your best interests in their heart. And Napoleon said, the crown of France, I saw it lying in the gutter, so I picked it up. That comes from the hatred of the destruction of something beautiful that you have to see and live through. So, we're going to go through this energy, that anger that is justified. Don't let it consume you, but understand that justified anger led to great things throughout history. Justified anger, whether it led to the wars that built Mesopotamia, Egypt, ancient Greece, Rome, justified anger, whether it led to the Crusades, it leads to a lot of results. And hatred of evil is justified. Hatred of chaos is justified, especially because most people are on the side of balance, on the side of order. Now, this video that Wade is going to share with you and comment on, it's very funny because the title of the video is pretty much exactly how the reality of this world works. What is Wade talking about? Let's see. The title of this video is Epstein's Alive, the blackmail is still in play, and you're still paying taxes. That is great. That is great because, you heard a lot of people saying Epstein didn't kill himself. And you also heard a lot of smart people saying Epstein didn't kill himself. And a lot of you thought that meant Epstein was killed. He didn't kill himself. But now that we know how the blackmail operation of Jewish people, Israel, works, it's pretty obvious that no, he had a lot of blackmail and a lot of people. There was an attempt on his life, but the probabilities suggest that he was exfiltrated, like he was taken out of the cell and he's hiding in Israel. There, Wade said it. Epstein did kill himself. He's still alive. So the title of this video is great. Now, Wade is going to recommend Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Ian Carroll. Mostly Candace Owens, Ian Carroll. James Lee is another good one. And Baron Coleman. These people are investigators. These people really go into the details of what's going on. And they're great people to listen to because Wade is a big picture Wade. These people are the detail-oriented people who get that big picture together. So Wade takes them all and puts it in a big picture for you to understand, to simplify, right? So the title of this video is fantastic because he says, Epstein's alive, the blackmail is still in play, and you are still paying taxes. Now, why this is important is it's very simple, right? The entire system that has brought you to your knees where you can't land a job. If you land a job, you can't buy a house. You can't produce enough money to feed yourself. If you can, you can't make enough money to feed your family or have a family. If you can have a wife, you can't make enough money to feed your kids. So your wife has to work. And that puts her under the authority of another man. It leads to, due to the nature of female psychology, a very high likelihood of separation and divorce. And then the state gives her the custody of the kids and alimony. So you're paying for your woman to be a chaos spreader, not only in her life, but the lives of your children. You know, the destruction of the family. Now, how did it all start? Why for thousands of years, oh, the old world, were family units so strong? Because there's a shocking fact that you might not know if you've not been watching WAYDE's videos. And if you're a bot that if Israel is calling you a bot, you definitely need to subscribe and watch the videos. So, it sounds so stupid, subscribe. Just watch the videos. So, income tax was never a thing permanently. Wow, what did I just say? What did I just hear? Is that what you're thinking? Yes. Income tax, the tax on your income as a permanent thing, that your income is always taxed, was never a thing throughout the thousands of years of human history. Yes, this is the reality. Look up your history. You were only taxed on your income when the king wanted to go to war. And if the people got sick of the war, or if it didn't finish, the people were like, yo, we're not paying any more income tax. Screw you and your war, buddy. Get back and take care of the country. The entire reason you pay income tax is because the central banking system allows your leaders to borrow money to go to war, and borrowing money from whom? From you, without your consent. So how this works is, instead of you paying income tax, a couple of private bankers say, give us the power to print your money and we'll give you as much money as you want to fight a war. And your ruler says, sounds good, let's do it. The central bankers lend your ruler money and they take the right to print the money from your ruler and from you. Then they force you to use the money, and the borrowed money is basically repaid by your taxes. And by your taxes, it means your livelihood, your blood, your sweat, your land, your food, your children. That is why in every central banking society, taxes only go up. They never go down. They might go down 1% or 2% in a year or two, but if you look at it, taxes always increase. Because your rulers keep borrowing, the private bankers keep lending, and they get the authority and the power to control your entire life through the money that they generate. And this whole system relies on you paying income tax all the time. You get your first job, income tax. You get your last job, income tax. In fact, however, in ancient Egypt, the maximum amount of income tax was paid by slaves. The worst slaves were made to pay 20% income tax. So you're worse than slaves, because even all slaves didn't pay income tax, and you do. So you're still paying taxes, Epstein is still alive, and the blackmail operation is still on.
Friday. It's a sick Free Speech Friday over here.
This is a good thing to
someone was
honestly speaking.
We're Phoenix Energy, a family-owned oil company focused on unleashing American oil from North Dakota and Montana. We've already
buying V-Bucks on presumably his account. You know, should we A, fucking look into it, or B, cover it up with a censorship box? I'm sure they're protecting victims with the censorship box. I'm sure that's what they're censoring. It's a victim emailing another victim about their V-Bucks charge. And it happens to show up in the Epstein cache. That's weird.
Here's the thing. The entire financial system today, remember the truckers in Canada? They were punished for going against the regime in Canada, the homosexual regime in Canada, the bastard anti-human regime in Canada. Their accounts were frozen. Your accounts will be frozen if you fall afoul of the leading legal laws of the time, and your $5 that you sent to somebody else got your account in Wells Fargo and JP Morgan Chase banned. However, if you have enough power, and if you're a Jew who has power, the bank will be told, even if he's literally sending funds to known killers, murderers, rapists, looters, terrorists, whatever you want to call them, just overlook it, bro. Ban that dude who's sending $5 because you think it raised some AML KYC flags. Ban those truckers who don't want to lose their livelihood from banking. But people who are doing mass evil on a major scale, as long as they have a lot of money, let them be. Let them be. WeBucks, hedge funds, stock markets, valuations, all of these laws only apply to you, by the way. They don't apply to those in power. So you have to understand the whole financial system, the reason gold, it is illegal to buy and sell gold in most countries without having a record. It is illegal to exchange things for gold in most countries is because gold is decentralized. They can't control it. They can't print more gold. Also, honorable mention Bitcoin. They can't print more Bitcoin. There's only going to be 21 million, and already 20 million, almost 20 million of them have been mined, right? But they can print this money infinitely, and they can control how you spend it. And if you follow all of the laws, there is no person small enough that they will not go after. But if you're one of the criminals who's successful, well, they give you $1 trillion valuation for your company. The numbers are a joke. The numbers for OpenAI, Anthropic, and even XAI, they just 6, 7, 8 timed their valuation in 2 years. It's bullshit. It's just numbers. It's like if Wade makes a stock or a coin and says, you know, there's 100 of these coins, and I'm going to buy one of them for $1 trillion. Bam, Wade is $100 trillion richer. Thank you. Thank you. The richest man in the world, $100 trillion right here. Now, where did the $100 trillion come from? They're nowhere. They're up in the air. Just trust me, bro. That's how the world works. Same way, if you do something evil, they'll come after you, because how dare you do something without the permission of those who are daddy evils, right? So in this case, they're using Fortnite V-Bucks. All the success, almost all of it is subverted. And they are using it to launder money. And they are redacting. So redacting is, here you go, here's the information you asked for, minus all the information we are not going to give you, because what the hell are you going to do? What the hell are you going to do about it? We're just not going to tell you. If you want to see the absolute fraud in the world, look at the numbers that Candace Owens gets on her episodes and her subscriber count. This is a woman on a mission. A lot of people are watching her. And even if her account isn't suppressed, she's only at like 5.7 million subscribers on YouTube, a couple of million views per episode. Look at the clown at the top who's making clownish videos targeting children. He gets hundreds of millions of views, hundreds of millions of subscribers. It's all bullshit. It's all fake. I mean, the most engaged person on this planet who's not a child and who's not catering to children gets 1 million to 3 million views per video. And this clown just fakes his way to the top, targeting children. There's no children watching 100 million views per video. They just ain't. It's all fake and queer. It's not gay. Gay used to mean happy. It's fake and queer, because queer always meant strange. It's strange. It's weird. And so is this.
And yeah, chat, we know that May is before August. This is right before taken in and dies. This is just what's in the emails. Then the gamers track down the account.
2019. And this is, again, keep in mind, justice.gov. This is the government website for Jeffrey Epstein right here. And this is Littlest Jeff with jeevacation@gmail.com. It could be a troll, but the fuck?
I hate that I can't keep this a secret. I canceled all my food delivery subscriptions and upgraded to Cook Unity, and it's totally transformed.
That's what you do.
Fuck, guys. Guys, are they in? Yeah, I'm really confused here.
They're on to you,
What's
Asmund.
going on with this?
They're on to you, Asmund. So,
Jeffrey Epstein is alive.
the conspiracies just do not end.
He's still
They
kicking
do
it.
not end.
Oh,
There
he
is
still
no
damn
end to
pissed.
the bullshit that can transpire all at once here. If you think about it, why wouldn't he still be alive?
Exactly.
Dude is one of the most valuable assets Israel has ever had. He ran point on the most significant Israeli intelligence operation in Israeli history. Maybe probably for stealing nuclear weapons from us, which his predecessor, Robert Maxwell, was deeply involved in. Yeah. But the thing is that when you run the blackmail operation, that's a little different than stealing nuclear secrets, because the relationship capital that you've acquired over that time, there's a lot that lives in your head that is valuable as is, that you might.
This is something that Wade wants to emphasize. You are living in a world where you are sold an illusion, a lie of the power that you have. You don't have power. In fact, it is the natural order that the vast majority of people do not have power. However, they do have the power to select from among themselves a leader that looks after them. Now, Wade is going to give you a list of these leaders recently. In recent history, that was selected by the people and they liked him. JFK. What happened to JFK? He got assassinated. Apparently, he was one of the very few or the only non-Protestant American president in history. Interesting. Let's see, who else? Saddam Hussein. Oh my God, the bad, the evil, the Saddam Hussein. What happened to him? He got hung. Fascinating. Muammar Gaddafi gave loans to young couples and families to buy houses, buy cars, free education, free healthcare, and no taxes after 3 children. Wonder what happened to Gaddafi. Oh, that's right. He was murdered. Let's see what else. Bashar al-Assad. Look at his interviews on YouTube. Tried to do good by his people. Literally tried to assassinate him multiple times. Had to be extracted to Russia. Every single leader that is doing good things for their people are either attacked or destroyed or assassinated. And the few still remaining are there because they have access to nuclear power or some kind of power, and they didn't give up their weapons. This whole illusion of power comes from the illusion of democracy, that you have power, that you actually have a choice in who you choose. And Wade has said this again and again. It's getting easier and easier. You can go to any AI, even the Jewish AI from OpenAI, right? And you can ask it, hey, when did democracy start spreading in the world? It will tell you. Then ask it, when did central banks start spreading in the world? It will tell you. Then ask it, when did Jewish power start increasing in the world? It will tell you. And from the results, extract what you will. So what he's saying is just a microcosm of the reality that you are all living in.
Might not want to just suicide and erase all the things that are in that man's head. So, come to your own conclusions, do your own research. I would argue you should keep an open mind to all possibilities. He's alive, maybe he's dead, maybe he's a fuck worlds. Who knows? Who knows? I do just want to give a quick shout out. Most mainstreamiest platform to stay loud about this and to use his platform to speak up about this. It's very cool.
And look what they're doing to Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is not the most masculine of men. He's becoming it, but he's not by default. He didn't even start off in the center. He started off far left. This is just a nerdy dude who buys the bullshit of the chaotic side, not the side of order. There's no right or left now anymore. Forget about it. There's the side of order and the side of chaos. Balance is where everybody's happy. Tucker started on the side of chaos throughout his life due to the persecution he has faced for just trying to avoid and get out of the chaos side has pushed him on the side of order, and now he's platforming people like Ian. Now he's platforming the truth. Now he's actually saying things which really terrifies them, because this is a man who till this day says, not all Jews, not all bankers, not all government, not all CIA, not all FBI. This is retarded. This is a girly man take, man. If there is a pattern, if WAYDE says that a poisonous spider will bite you and kill you, to say, well, not all poisonous spiders, it's just a low IQ take and a girly man take. It's a retarded take. The normal take would be, makes sense. It's implied that there might be exceptions, but they're inconsequential in how you operate or live in this reality. And that is exactly what's happening here. He is saying, and he is telling you, that Epstein was too valuable to be killed. And he didn't keep just blackmail in files. He also kept a lot of it in his head. Now, you can't extract that short of torture. Maybe he's happy and alive. Maybe he's alive and being tortured. Who knows? Because he did have a lot of blackmail, not only on non-Jews, but on Jews as well. This is just a fact. Very disturbing facts, though, that their initiation usually starts with some homosexual, queer, degenerate bullshit, which is how he apparently got initiated into success, because he was raped by Leslie Wexner, allegedly. And then he trapped Leslie Wexner himself on sex tapes. Right. But here's something even more interesting. The 2008 financial crisis, if you've seen The Big Short, the good guy played by Steve Carell, they're played by Goyim, obviously, Steve Carell. But the actual people who
This year, we opened 2 new restaurants.
Movie were all Jews. And actually, one of the Jews is the guy who plays the same son, the useless son in this TV series Succession. The one who is most anti-charismatic, the one who's on TV and you're like, how the hell did this guy get on TV, man? This is a loser. This is an ugly, skinny loser. He's a Jew, that's why. So apparently, if you understand the financial crisis, you understand that the entire reason Jewish people dominate this is because it is another and the most powerful form of government. It's a form of government that you don't even know you're under. It is on top of everything. And they cause financial crashes to punish the government and loot the people, and financial pumps to again crash. So there's pump, dump, pump, dump. They are pumping and dumping civilizations if you're in finance. Apparently, Jeffrey Epstein was one of the key instigators of this collapse by entering into a fake over-leveraged position. That means he put a bet by using $57 million, but the bet was worth 20 times more. Look up into finance how that happens. And then he pulled all that money out, which led to the collapse of Bear Stearns, where he worked, which led to the collapse of a lot of things in 2008, led to you losing your house, you losing your job, you living a sucky life today. So Epstein, a Jew, funded by
keep it small,
other
we'll tie
Jews,
together. And glass, guys, homies, we're starting slow,
was behind
and then we're
that
gonna
as
speed up.
well.
But I just want you to kind of get the sense of like how
Now this is a
right there.
great
So there's your source.
tool that he's
the
come
niece
up
of the
with.
dictator that they installed in
But
Epstein, the inside DC scoop.
let's see if we can find this
time.
video. That was a
10:55.
great video where he goes back and talks about Epstein financial collapse. Let's see. Epstein financial collapse. Epstein, this is like an old video, but this one, web. All right. Let's see, maybe it's this one. Where'd you go? Who's in the files? No. All right, let's just click. This is a good guy to follow. He's doing good work. Good work. Mr. Mac, 60 Below, 2 weeks ago, live. YouTube also hides. It was Russia. Propaganda collapse. Iranian.
Then you go to someone's channel like Officer Tatum.
Next.
And strangely enough,
That's Poppy smuggling, the swamp, no bullet, the ear of conspiracies, Epstein files, and anatomy of a cover-up, the smoking gun, da 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 da. Let's see. There's definitely something here that was very, very interesting, where he talks about Epstein. Well, here's the thing, right? We're gonna do latest. We're gonna see one more thing. And, all right. We're just gonna go to the older video, it's fine. This is a good video.
Why is Amazon paying me $63,000?
Nobody cares, loser, shut the fuck up.
That Jeffrey Epstein may have helped cause the 2008 financial collapse. And that sounds crazy, but there's actually a fair bit of pretty surprising evidence that there might be some truth to it. And it's a story worth telling, not just because it's crazy and it sheds light on the financial crisis, but also because it slides us right into the middle of Epstein's banking networks. Because not nearly enough people know just how complicit the biggest banks in America were with Epstein's operation. A lot of people don't realize that the head of all of JP Morgan's private client division once emailed Jeffrey Epstein from the hot tub on the island while Jeffrey was still serving house arrest in Florida. And he wrote them this whole email about how good of friends they are and how much he loves Jeff's island and how profound their friendship is.
Now, you can look at these videos. Wade has given you a good intro, but the big picture is this. Over the last 500 years, the Khazarians who were destroyed and kicked out of Khazaria, which is Eastern Europe, Turkic land, for identity theft, looting, and sacrificing children to their Khazarian god, became the Jews. And then they read the Talmud, which is from Babylon. A lot of Jews today, as Wade has said months ago, are Canaanites. Canaanites were destroyed by the Greeks for child sacrifice, praising their old gods. So these Khazars, they adopted that religion and they were like, you know what? What's a great problem that the rulers of every nation face? This is a fact. You can look up their secret writings that they share. And this is what terrifies Jews, that one man can come and do the work of their entire generations of people. So they understood that the biggest problem that the ruler, the king, the person on top has is jealousy and envy from those below him and constant competition. So if you can hide that you are the ruler, you will have power a lot longer. So the test of this empire says that you can only hide for so long, maybe 3 or 4 centuries before you are unmasked, because the unmasking is happening right now. We are living in interesting times. But what they improved upon was saying you can be in power, but paint yourself as the biggest victim. So then nobody can actually assume you're in power. It's like your king saying, I'm your king, but I'm also the biggest beggar, starving, poor person who gets attacked by everybody in the kingdom. And then the king just disappears and it's only the beggar that's left. And you're like, oh man, I don't know where the king went. Things seem to be running the same though. Oh, this poor guy. And the beggar keeps guilt tripping you. Like, won't you help me? Why won't you help me? Are you an asshole? Are you evil? Help me. I need help. I'm the biggest victim. So the Jews perfected this girly man plan. Get in power, paint yourself as the biggest victim. So if anybody criticizes you, you're like, how dare you? How dare you? Our suffering is the worst and the biggest suffering in the history of the world. We have suffered for 6,000 years and we've been kicked out. So you have to understand, the Khazars who make up the Jews have not been suffering for 6,000 years. But the Jewish system, religion, the thinking that came from the Canaanites leads itself to everybody hating you because it's full of drinking the blood of children, torturing babies, child sacrifice, money lending, predatory practices. This is, regardless of the Khazars adopting it or not, this was messed up way before that. You can say, oh, it's not all Jews or the Khazars that subverted it. Nah. The test of a philosophy is who it attracts. And this philosophy attracts the worst of mankind, the enemies of mankind, in fact. So you are living in a system where the people in charge are hidden from you and they paint themselves as the biggest victims. But they have the most power and the most money. And now they're starting to come forward and realizing, oh, damn, we are facing the same problems that everybody else was because you were never benevolent rulers, Jews. And the Jews that become Jews convert to Judaism like Khazars. And they stop conversion now. You tend to attract, your philosophy tends to attract the worst kind of people. You also have a high incidence of assassinating, torturing, and straight up killing your own people who want to make yourself better. So the fault of the Jews who want to make Judaism better is to understand that this is a flawed philosophy. It's never going to be better. You're just going to get killed. Renouncing it completely is your only option, and not just in words, in deeds. And you have to understand, it's gotten to the point that this philosophy of racial supremacy, but the races looks like demon goblins. So goblins can't be supreme. It's not going to happen in this reality, no matter how hard they try. It's genetically coded as well. So you also have to overcome your genetics. You can do it through willpower. And where does willpower come from? The creator of all reality. Regardless of what God you praise, the creator of all reality. He can give you the willpower. But you have to understand, as Jews, you are genetically and philosophically compromised. You're facing an uphill battle. So good luck with that. But you, as people, human beings, not these anti-human goblins, are living in a world where the Jews are the most powerful block of organized human beings on the planet, the race of most organized human beings on the planet, and they have painted themselves as the biggest victims. But the fact that they started killing and murdering babies in 4K live in the age of social media brought out their lies. 6 million Jews in the Holocaust, even they themselves say, we've been saying 6 million for like 200 years. It's the number we throw out, right? But 60 million Russian Christians, 100 million Han Chinese, murdered by Jewish Bolsheviks in Russia and Jewish communists in China. Millions murdered by the Jewish Belakun in Hungary. Millions in the Armenian genocide. The genocides across Europe, the Black Plague, opening of the gates of Toledo. All of these things are conveniently forgotten. 60 million to 100 million white Russian Christians were murdered by Jewish Bolsheviks in Russia. Compare that to their fake number of 6 million. WAYDE is just going to say it, it's fake. It's fake. The math doesn't math. There's no amount of, you can keep trying to suppress this information, but it's not going to work, man. It's not going to work. Your model has lived out its usefulness. Your model of ruling from the shadows while pretending to be the biggest victims, it's done. We're comparing it to the great empires of the past, the Mesopotamians, the Egyptians, the Greeks, the Romans, the Chinese, the Indo-Aryan empires, the Aztec empires, and we've decided it's too anti-human, it's done. And at the end of the day, a parasite will feed on itself after it's killed its host, because it's a parasite, it can't survive without a host. So, hatred against this kind of evil, rage against this kind of evil is actually the goodness in you reacting to something that is absolutely anti-you, anti your children, anti your people, anti mankind, and anti human, anti reality, anti God. If you feel that hatred, channel it. Channel it into making the decisions that take these parasites out of your life, make you uncontrollable by these parasites. And until you take that decision and you channel that rage and hatred against evil, you will always be a victim, because you will be useless to the good. You will be useless to order. Chaos is active, order is passive. The balance only exists when order is also active to counteract the activity of chaos. You understand? We're not trying to make a world of absolute order, because that would be pretty horrible to live in as well. But right now we are living in a world of a huge amount of chaos. Every headline you see that reinforces the absurdity of the successes of the people in the system tells you this. So channel that rage, channel that anger, understand the reality and make your peace with it. You are not all going to be, like it said in the Fight Club, you're not all going to be rock stars and movie stars, you're not all going to be millionaires and billionaires, you're not all going to be presidents and senators. And in fact, this whole bullshit term, president, what is this, a corporation? Your country is a corporation if it has a president. You're a country that is divorced from reality and God and natural law, because you turned your country into a monetary unit of merchants, of Jews. You call it a corporation or corporation of the president. Does the corporation have a lord? Does the corporation has a king? No, then you don't live in a country, you live in a goddamn corporation. Understand it. Use that rage in a methodical way if you can. And until next time, this is Wade saying, keep it cool. Cool rage, cold anger, the most dangerous kind. Keep it smart, even more dangerous. And understand it's just a part of life, and you have to grow up and enjoy.